go.
Welcome to the Conservative Viewpoint, where the truth always matters. I'm your host Charlie, the country conservative, and co-host Brendan. Welcome to the Conservative Viewpoint, where the truth always matters. I'm your host Charlie, the country conservative, and co-host Brendan, from the Brendan Statler Show. We are your source for conservative news. Now on with the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, patriots and thinkers, welcome to the Conservative Viewpoint. I'm your host Charlie, the country conservative.
And I'm Brendan Statler from the Brendan Statler Show.
We're embarking on a journey through a current of liberty, the tempest of tradition and the bedrock of our convictions. Now picture this, a ship sailing across the choppy seas of modern discourse. Our vessel, the USS Conservatism. Our compass, unhealing principle forged in the fires of history. As we navigate these treacherous waters, let's explore the wind that shaped our world view. First is the Constitution. It is our North Star. Our Constitution, the celestial map etched by the Founding Fathers, guides us. It inks a blend of wisdom and inkwell grit, spells out our rights, our freedoms, and the delicate balance between government power and individual sovereignty. We're not just constitutionalists, we're constitutional romantics. We swoon over the Bill of Rights like it's a love letter from George Washington himself. Second, we believe in limited government, the lighthouse on the cliff. Imagine a lighthouse perched on a rugged cliff. Its beacon pierced the fog, warning against the siren call of big government. We believe in limited government, the kind that doesn't meddle in our lives like an overbearing neighbor. It's not about small government, it's about efficient government. We want Uncle Sam to be the helpful uncle who fixes the porch swing, not the one who rearranges our furniture without asking. And third, fiscal conservatism, counting every doubloon or doubloon. Our fiscal ship sails on a sea of red ink, but fear not. We are the crew that patches the leaks, balance is the books, and keeps the treasure chest secure. We believe in responsible spending, like thrifty pirates who know when to splurge on a cutlass and when to save the balloons for a rainy day. Debt? That's our enemy, the kraken looking beneath the waves, ready to drag us down. And fourth, we believe in family values, the hearth and the heartbeat. Our compass points toward the family hearth, the cozy center of our universe. We cherish traditional values, the kind that makes us grandma's apple pie taste like freedom. Marriage? It is a covenant, not a contract. Life, sacred, and kids. They're our legacy, our little torch bearers. We're the guardians of bedtime stories, Sunday dinners, and the belief that strong family builds a resilient nation. And fifth, national defense, the Sentinel's vigil. Picture is a sentinel standing on top of a fortress wall. That's us. We salute our troops, honor our veterans, and know that peace isn't won by paper treaties alone. Strike the tires, aggression. Weakness invites it. We're the ones who say speak softly, but carry a battleship. Our flag doesn't just flutter. I call it to stand tall, unwavering against storms and ideologies that threaten our shores. And there you have it, my fellow conservatives. Our monologue is a tapestry woven with threads of liberty, responsibility, and unwavering resolve. So whether you're sipping coffee in a cozy den or stuck in traffic, remember this. The Conservative Viewpoint isn't just a podcast. It's a compass of true north for those who speak clarity in a turbulent world. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Now, we were going to start off with this, guys, tonight. So we're going to get into it. And if you have anything you want to say about it, we're going to be talking about Trump, of course, and this bullshit verdict. And we've gotten so much on this, even though after I signed off here earlier, and my phone's been going crazy, and I know Brendan's got something too on this, don't you?
Yeah, this came out from Breitbart maybe a couple hours ago because, as many of you know, the verdict was pretty recent. But from Breitbart, Biden campaign cheers Trump verdict. The Biden campaign is cheering the guilty verdict of President Donald Trump in New York today in his business records case, the merits of which have been widely questioned by legal scholars and experts. After Trump was found guilty on 34 counts of falsifying business records in Deep Blue Manhattan, the Biden campaign said in a statement here we go. In New York today, we saw that no one is above the law. They actually put this on Twitter. And the Biden-Harris campaign issued a full statement. I'll be sharing that on Twitter so people could go look at that. But it says, Donald Trump has always mistakenly believed he would never face consequences for breaking the law for his own personal gain. The release snarked. The snide comment comes as Trump has been adamant the election interference all comes out of Washington, D.C. This is election interference. It all comes out of Washington. They have their reps here, he said on May 10th, telling media members, I'm sure you know that. It's to damage crooked Joe Biden's political opponent, happens to be me, and we're leading it big in the polls, and the American people get it. It's a scam, he added. Notably, Michael Colangelo, a lead prosecutor on the case, worked in the Biden Department of Justice before New York District Attorney Alvin Bragg brought him on board to his office, as the Washington Examiner reported. He also previously worked for New York Attorney General Letitia James on her civil fraud case against Trump. Notably, legal experts Jonathan Turley has slammed the case as absurd, while Fox News analyst and former defense attorney Greg Jarrett has asserted the trial bore no resemblance to the cherished constitutional promise of the right to a fair trial. So you see this for what it is now. We talked a little bit about this yesterday. Or no, the day before yesterday. I wasn't here, sorry. But we talked about how the Biden campaign was holding an event outside of the courthouse. And now the illegitimate Biden-Harris administration, I prefer to call them a regime, are issuing a statement based off this case. They're issuing a statement on this case. I thought they had absolutely nothing to do with this, Charlie, but you have them sending their representatives to hold a press conference outside, people that work for the Biden team, and you also have people with that work with the Biden team at Alvin Bragg's news conference today, his press conference he had after the verdict came down, standing right next to Alvin Bragg while he's giving his press conference.
It was a DOJ guy there.
Yeah, so the Biden and his team had absolutely nothing to do with this.
They had everything to do with this.
Bullshit, yes. They absolutely did.
And my phone's been ringing off the hook with all this stuff.
Mine's been going nuts too. Yeah.
Oh my God. But I did get this one like 10 minutes prior to going live. And this is from Breitbart News, but it just seems funny. Trump found guilty on feast day of Joan of Arc, patron saint of prisoners and hero of patriots. Isn't that pretty weird that on this day it happens that Trump's found guilty of no crime at all? It just makes you wonder if this is, well, we know it's all fixed, but also from Breitbart News, Democrats media, the media, of course, the fake news, are hyping this up as a convicted felon already. I've already gotten into it on Facebook with people, and people on Twitter are going crazy about it, and all these liberals are just having a good old time at it. I told him enjoy it now while it lasts. This shit ain't gonna last long.
No, they have no idea what they did. This is what I was talking about earlier. This is going to push Donald Trump to a massive victory because, like I said, people see that this is politically motivated even more now. I don't know if you want me to bring this up now or later, but what the significance with his trial date? Do you want me to hold off on that or?
No, go ahead.
Okay, so Donald Trump is supposed to be sentenced 4 days before the Republican National Committee, where he is officially confirmed as the party nominee. Now, doesn't that seem a little more than slightly coincidental? This was all orchestrated from the start. Trump, there was going to be a guilty verdict as soon as this case was brought. It was all predetermined. Everything in between was performative. It was theater. And they wanted to convict him. And I think I even mentioned this last time I was on. They wanted to convict him just so they could run with the narrative that Trump is now a convicted felon. And I think I mentioned that when we were on just a little bit ago. And what is the first thing that the media is saying right now? You just mentioned it, Charlie. Trump is a convicted felon. Trump is
They're pushing that bitch right
that
there.
is what they are doing now. But it's not going to work. I mean, this was the worst thing that you could have done if you were on the Democrat side of the football.
They're going to find that out too.
I'm telling you, people are going to be so motivated to go out and vote for this guy. He is going to break records. I think Trump is going to easily get over 100 million votes this election. That doesn't mean don't go out and vote, people, because we need all hands on deck for this. But I'm telling you,
this is more important now than ever.
We do our job. Donald Trump is going to get over 100 million votes easily. And these are going to be real votes, not like the fake 81 million that Joe Biden supposedly got in 2020. Yeah. These are going to be real, legal, certifiable votes. He's going to get at least 100 million votes. That is my prediction.
Yeah, he's going to get something, and these Democrats and these liberals need to get theirs.
Yep.
Have you guys heard anything in chat on Wimpkin, especially? You heard anything different than we have heard about? Because, I mean, I could go on and on about this. Like, I heard J.D. Vance come out, and Trump guilty verdict isn't justice, it's election interference. And he's exactly right. That's all this is. And then you got Jim Jordan running his mouth saying it's not right. And I got on there and tell him, then do something about it. Stop your talking and do something. I'm sick and tired of listening to these guys want to run their mouths and sit there and run their investigations, but don't do anything. And that pisses me off to no end.
No, and they're still not going to do anything, even with this verdict in this sham trial. The Republicans are going to continue to bury their head in the sand, unfortunately, because the Republican Party is the party of do nothing. The Republican Party is nothing more than controlled opposition, and many people recognize that now. But this is why it's so important, because both sides want Trump gone. That is the thing that people need to remember. This is no longer a Republican versus Democrat issue. We are not living through Democrat versus Republican politics anymore. This is freedom versus tyranny. That is what this is. It does not matter when it comes to party now, because at the end of the day, they're all on the same side. They are all against us. They are all our enemy. Donald Trump is the one that stands out. He is the one that they all want gone. And you have to ask yourself, why is that? They have never went after any politician, at least not in modern history, to anywhere near the extent they have went after Donald Trump and continue to go after Donald Trump. You have to ask yourself, why is that? And how that doesn't motivate you to not vote for this guy, how that doesn't motivate you to go out and cast a ballot for Trump, I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea, because it's going to be a very long time in our history, if ever, we see a candidate like this, because no other person, I don't believe, would have made through any of this stuff he's gone through. Most politicians, their campaign would have been sunk with just the Access Hollywood tape. With just
Wait.
that alone.
You got Wimpkin up?
I'm not streaming to Wimpkin, but
No, I meant for
I'm watching the
comments.
chat on my phone. Yes.
Yeah. Now, Tammy and some other guys brought it up too about Trump's donation site crashing 10 minutes after the verdict.
Yeah, I did.
Yes, I did hear about that, and that wasn't me. I didn't give him no donations today, but I have, and hopefully everybody does and helps him out.
Yeah. Another case of coincidence, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. But all this stuff's going crazy, and Dan Bongino is loving this up. Because here's a comment he made 3 hours ago. Still liberal commie fuckwads. Warning you now, we'll be drinking your delicious tears in November. Laugh now, motherfuckers. You'll be crying soon. Bank on it.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta love this. And there you got these other idiots on here that want to try to challenge Dan Bongino. This Emerald Robinson. Let's see. Apparently, Dan Bongino totally missed the fact that the 2020 election was stolen. How did the 2024 election suddenly become a fair contest? Oh,
Yeah,
and then we got Kissinger too.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't stand him.
I normally like Emerald Robinson, but she's completely missing the point on this. I agree with Dan Bongino 100%.
Oh, is that a woman?
Yeah, the reason that 2024, this election coming up, is so much different than 2020 is because they weren't going after Donald Trump with the lawfare back in 2020. They weren't doing all this crazy shit. We didn't have 3 years of complete chaos from an illegitimate president, from the illegitimate Biden regime. You have all this stuff connected, and they start seeing that what Donald Trump was saying, that if Joe Biden got in office, this, and this would happen. People remember him saying that, and they remember people, and particularly the media, making fun of him for it. Well, look at where we're at now. Everything that Trump said would happen if Biden got in office has happened. People remember, and they see how they're going after him through this lawfare, through these Moscow show trials, and how unfairly he's being treated. That's growing his support. It has grown his support massively. Donald Trump's support was already great in 2020. It has gotten even bigger since then. That is why it is so different than 2020, because we truly are. Even though it's kind of a funny slogan, I don't know who came up with it, but we really are making this too big to rig. We didn't have enough hands on deck in 2020. We're going to in 24, and that's why he's going to win in massive numbers. And you could attribute all of this to the way they have gone after him through this lawfare, because I think that is the main thing that grew his support, was them going after him through this lawfare.
Oh, most definitely. Now we got a lot going on in the chat. So the corrupt, this is Neil in Wimpkin. The corrupt will go to any lengths to stay in power. You're exactly right.
Yes.
These some bitch Democrats will have done and have been doing for what, since Trump came down that escalator.
Yep.
Have been doing everything in their power and over the power and above the law and below the law to stay in power. And that's exactly what this is all about. This is about them remaining in power and somebody not taking them out, because they know for a fact that Trump's going to take them out.
Absolutely. They're very concerned, I believe, about the and we talked about this with the Mar-a-Lago raid. I think their biggest fear is Trump is going to expose all the people that were involved in the Russia collusion hoax.
He's already started. That's why all this is going on.
Yep. I think these people are worried they're going to be going to prison. Then you have all the stuff with Epstein's Island. That's why little Bobby De Niro was throwing a fit in New York. And, the other day they probably have him I'm not going to say that, but they probably have him doing some pretty graphic things on Epstein Island. If I had to guess, he strikes me as the type, I will say. So he's probably done some illegal shit over there, I would imagine. And that's why a lot of these people are so unhinged, I believe.
Gary, the American Rebellion is in the house. He says he will not calm down. This has now gone on. Oh, hell, somebody do that. Too far. If they steal it again, yep, we'll take them all and let God sort them out. You damn right. Everybody in the chat is making great points.
Yeah, I want to point out we're already in a civil war. We've been in a civil war for a while now. We're in an information war more than anything. This is a battle of information. But one thing that people need to realize here in Wimpkin, I understand everybody being pissed off about this. I do get it. We're actually winning. If we were not winning, they would not be doing this. This should just motivate us to keep the pressure up. So what I would say to people is, let's not act like we're defeated. You know, I understand why why people are pissed off, and we should be pissed off to a degree on this, because it's absolutely ridiculous that you could be convicted on 34 counts of absolute bullshit.
Hey, Steven's back.
It just shows how desperate the left is to take him down, and not only take him down, but take us down. This is like I said, Democrats completely shot themselves in the foot with this. They really did. They should have, seriously, if I was on the Democrat side, I would have completely went away from convicting Trump. I would have thrown the case out after a while, after this got too hot like it did, towards the end. Because Trump's numbers are going to go through the freaking roof because of this. His support just grew today as soon as that verdict was read. There were people watching that today, I guarantee you, that were on the fence about voting. Maybe they're not really politically involved. They don't vote anymore. But they're going to be voting now because they see what is happening. They see how we're turning into a third world dictatorship. This is going to spell out victory for us in the end.
We got so many comments going off in here. It's great. We got a bunch in Rumble. Steve's back in Rumble there, Brandon.
I see.
Haven't seen him for a while. Welcome back, Steve. And Dennis, you are right in Wimpkin. We don't want my podcast shadowed or shut down. We want to keep this going because we can't get the truth out to you guys if we're shut down. But this will come to blows once Trump gets his appeal going, and if he gets the corrupt ass judges that he had before on appeal, then he has to work his way up. But like they said, this could pull out for over a year before the state Supreme Court even takes it up. By that time, hopefully, he is in the White House and takes care of this forever, and then takes care of what the people involved in this.
You look at the chat?
Yes, I'm looking at all of them. I'm trying to keep up with them, and because everybody's making great points, and it's great because
I want to point out something that Dennis said here real quick. He said the left is trying to provoke us to violence. I actually agree with that. They want another January 6th like event. So I understand the sentiment of everybody, why everybody's pissed off about this. I get it. But we have to remain peaceful in this. We have to. This is a war that we're in. We have to do this strategically. We can't lose our heads because, like I said, we are winning. We are winning. This is what desperation looks like. This should just motivate us to work harder, as I said before. So I don't think we should look at this as a defeat. I really don't. I agree it's bullshit. I agree with everything that it's saying in here. It's absolute bullshit. It's we don't have a serious justice system in this country anymore. I agree with all that. But we have to expose all this shit to let's call them the normies. And it is being exposed through this. It is being exposed. There are people that aren't politically involved that are seeing this and they recognize what bullshit it is, and they're going to come to our side. This was the worst thing that the Democrats could have done for them to hold on to power. This is going to spell out victory for Trump. I'm telling you guys.
Yep, hopefully. Well, we got Steven and Rumble. Hey guys. Yeah, we got Democrats, liberal, independents committing to Trump now. They can see the corruption. Absolutely.
That's my point. And it's all through
that's great.
It's all through this draconian lawfare. The more they keep indicting him, the more they keep convicting him in court now, because I don't believe that this is going to be the only one, if I'm being honest. They're going to come out with some other stupid bullshit to try to throw him in prison even longer. And, they probably will convict him in many of these because it's a rigged system against him. But with every conviction, every indictment, his support grows. It's amazing to watch, actually. It really is. This is something that we've never seen before. We may never see it again. I mean, this is going to spell out victory for us. This is what is going to drive us to victory to take our country back. Just be patient, wait and see. It's going to happen. We got to keep up the pressure. Keep up the fight.
And that's why we're here. That's why we're doing these streams.
We will be victorious. We just have to we have to stay in the fight.
Well, that's why we're doing these live streams and trying to get people woke up to the truth. And hopefully after this, people are finally going to wake up and see the corruption in there, because if they can do this to Trump, you imagine what they're going to do to us. Absolutely. That's why they're when you said that, they were talking about they're trying to get us to get involved in violence, because look what they did to January 6 people and they weren't even doing anything wrong.
Exactly.
So imagine what they would do now.
Exactly.
If we get into fights or riots or burning down buildings like BLM or whatever the hell those idiots are called, and Antifa and all them.
We can't give these people any fodder. We have to remain peaceful. We have to be strategic. We have to be smart. We can't react on emotion. That is a Democrat thing. Let the Democrats react on emotion and make asses of themselves. Because like I said, people, it may not feel like it to some of you, but we are winning. This is what victory looks like. We didn't say that it was going to be easy, but we are on the right path. This should only motivate you to work harder.
That's right. Dennis says, be wise, prepare, don't kneel. Strength doesn't talk much, but carries a very big stick. You right there.
Absolutely right.
And that's what I'm waiting for. If it comes to the point where we have to fight, then that's a different story. But can't just sit back like these Republicans are doing in DC right now either. We can't just sit back and let them just do what they want.
No.
And send another letter? Hold another hearing? Is that what we're going to do? We're going to sit there and do this shit constantly. We've been doing it for almost 4 years now. Enough is enough.
No, and what we need to do, and this falls on us as citizens. And I'm even saying it by myself too. We need to really start more pressure on these people. These people may not give a damn about us, talking about the Republicans in the House. But I'm telling you what, you start blowing up their phones, you start putting enough pressure on these people. You can get them to do pretty much anything you want to do if you put enough pressure on them, because all these people care about is one thing, and that is getting reelected. If they feel that their job is in jeopardy because they're getting multiple phone calls every day telling these people, hey, you need to start getting some shit done. You see what they're doing to President Trump right now? You guys need to start acting. They get enough phone calls like that every single day. They're going to start to act. We can't just sit here and bitch. And like I said, I'm guilty of this too. We can't just sit here and bitch and wait for something to happen, because it's not going to. We have to do everything within the law, though, of course. We have to remain peaceful, as I said before. We can't threaten anybody. We can't do any of that stuff. But we have to put some serious pressure on these people, because until we put pressure on them, nothing is going to change. Not one thing is going to change. Like I said, these people don't give a damn about us. But if they feel that there is a good chance they're not going to get reelected because they're not doing anything, they will act. And that is our job as citizens. We need to start putting pressure on every one of these people.
Now, Rebecca West has made a nice announcement here. And she says, I love President Trump. I love my country, and I hate the weaponization of our courts. This is what goes on in a third world country. And you're exactly right. I am so angry at the Democrats. I want to know why voters would vote for these people. Exactly. Why would anyone support the destruction of our country? Exactly right. And I've said this before. Why would blacks vote for Democrat, the party of racism, with KKK, John Crow, everything? That's who the Democrat Party is. I never understood this, why they started voting Democrat. And believe it or not, I was a Democrat. And it took a while for me to wake up to see how bad the Democrat Party was. And Dan Bongino's always said that's it. If you've ever watched him, you don't fall in love with the candidates, you fall in love with his actions, what he does. Right. Trump has proved what he does. And so you can fall in love with Trump because he's proven what he does, and he does well for the America. Right. And he's shown it over and over again. These Democrats have not. All they have shown us is betrayal, violence, and corruption. So you're not going to fall. And don't get me wrong, there is a lot of rhinos, Republicans in there that should be Democrats. And I think they're in there like a Trojan horse. They're in there just to
That's exactly what
destroy the Republican Party. So
it's controlled opposition. That's exactly what it is.
And they're calling feces book. Did you see that?
Yeah,
that's funny. But you're right, Rebecca. You could not be more than right with that whole comment, because these people are supporting, and I don't see how they don't see that the destruction of our country. They don't see the First Amendment being taken away. They're trying to kill our Second Amendment rights, and if we lose either one of them, we've lost everything. We will lose the whole Constitution. They will just take it out and they will burn it. And this is what we have to stop.
Yeah. And like I said, it all comes down to us. We could sit here and bitch about everything as much.
But that's why we're doing this. That's our job. That's why we're here to do this.
Right. Yeah.
And this is our part of helping everybody else to understand why we need to be here.
Right. Yeah. What the point I'm making is we have to also put action into, I mean, it's fine sitting around and bitching. I understand it. I definitely do my fair share of bitching when I see this stuff, but we have to start putting some action behind it too. We have to really put pressure on these people that are supposed to be representing us, and they're not. And no, part of it is our fault as the people, when you think about it, because we ignored this for so long. Nobody ever wanted to get politically involved until we had to. Nobody wanted to do it. Now we're in the situation we're in. People weren't paying attention to anything that was going on. Everybody was just living their lives, just, completely ignorant to everything that is going on around them. We really let ourselves get in this situation, and it's going to take action to get us out of it. Just sitting and shaking your fist at the TV. I mean, that's not going to produce results. That's why I say, really get involved in this stuff. Pay attention to everything that's going on and put some action behind it. Hold these people accountable. Start blowing up their phones. Start putting pressure on these people to act. And most importantly, go out and vote. There is no excuse for not voting. Sorry to ramble on for a second there, Charlie.
That's what you're supposed to do. But people are asking on here, what is the next action that we're going to take if Joe Biden gets reelected?
The next action we would take if Joe Biden gets reelected?
Yep.
That's a very good question.
There may be only one choice.
Yeah, and I don't know if I want to say it on video.
No, not right now. We'll wait
No,
till
but-
if the day comes. But to me, right now, I believe Joe Biden is still not going to be the nominee. They may say it just to get his name on the ballot, but I do not believe that he's going to be the nominee. I just don't. I don't see it happening. The man is too mentally gone to be the nominee. Now, you guys might think I'm wrong. Let me know. You guys know in chat. You think he's going to be the nominee, or do you think they're going to slide somebody's other worthless ass in there?
I'm
Succession.
I'm still going with Gavin Newsom. That's still my guess, or possibly Michelle Obama. But I think Newsom's.
They're saying Michelle Obama is not even close to being to hit a replacement for him. Now, Dennis, unfortunately, Pennsylvania is a Democrat-run state. Pennsylvania will never succeed from Washington, D.C. and the United States, unfortunately. Texas might. Let me know where you guys are all from, too, because I'm kind of interested in it. Because I know Lockett, he's from Alaska, and kind of interested in knowing where everyone is from and seeing what kind of, because I've noticed a lot of people voting for Trump or saying they're going to vote for Trump from California. And I would never think that out of California.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've got anybody from California in here or not, but I'd be surprised if we do. I don't know if we have any liberals in here or not.
Yeah.
And I'd love to see if there's some liberals in here.
Yeah, and I want to address something here in the chat.
Go ahead.
People saying how the votes were stolen last time. Well, what the hell else are you going to do? Are you going to sit home and not vote and let these people retain power? That's honestly a quitter's mentality. We have no room for quitters in this movement. It's go out and vote or watch the country burn. What do you want to do? What side do you want to be on? It's that simple. There's no other options.
Everybody will get out and vote.
We can't.
And if you guys think that any of the votes got stolen, which I believe there were,
absolutely,
then you need to get out there and be a poll watcher.
Absolutely.
Take your cameras, try to get it any which way you can. That's a way to help not only Trump, but the Republican Party, because we have to get the Democrats out of power at the state, local, and federal levels. All of them. They can't control anything. If they do, we're still screwed.
Yeah, and one thing that people need to realize too with this, they want you to look back to the last election. Because we all know it's stolen. They want you to look back and they want you to say, well, our votes were stolen last time. What's the point of going out and voting? Do not have that mentality. That is the only way we lose, is if we have that mentality. We cannot have that mentality. Go out and vote.
Definitely.
We all know
Massachusetts in the house.
Nice. We all know it was stolen in 2020, but guess what? Our numbers are bigger and stronger than they were in 2020. They are not going to be able to steal this election if we all go out and do our job, because they needed help to steal in 2020. They had to fool enough people to go vote for this demented old man and have enough people stay home that would have voted for Trump.
Now we got Texas in the house. We've got Texas. We've got everything. We've got Michigan. We've got Pennsylvania. We have got them coming from all over the place in here. Let us know where you guys are from too, and so we can keep going with this and I want to get all 50 states in here. Shapiro may end up on being a Democrat nominee. Oh God. Let's hope not. Good God. We can't afford the United States to be like Pennsylvania.
No. But the point I was making, to summarize, our numbers are far greater and stronger this time. it's not going to be anything like 2020. We're going to win if we all do our job and go out and vote. Because just look at it this way, and I'll summarize this quick. If they were so sure they could steal this election like they did in 2020, would they really be going after Donald Trump the way they are today? Would they be trying to throw him in prison for 700 years? Common sense says no.
They're just trying to get him out of the way because they know they can beat everybody else.
Yeah, they're not confident they could steal this, because why would you do anything different?
Well, yeah, because they're confident if they get him out of the way. They're definitely confident if they can get him out of the way.
Right. They're not confident at all that they could do this again like they did in 2020. They're not confident at all. You could tell when these people, the way they go after him, this is all motivated by fear. They're freaked out that he's going to get back in. They don't know what to do right now. I'm telling you. So everybody should be very motivated to go out and vote. You know, it's this is our last chance. It really is. The future of this country comes down to this election. That's a fact.
I'm right there with you, Sean and Wimpkin. I know you're going to go out and vote, and we're all pissed off about all this. And we need to get the Republican Party to start playing dirty as the Democrats are doing. Because we're not going to win anything this way. The way the Republicans are just sitting on their hands, holding hearings. And I keep saying this on all my videos and all my live streams and stuff. You know, this is what the Republicans are doing right now. And I thought I could have sworn that what's his name? Jim Jordan was going to be better than what he is. Yeah, and Comer. They're both the same. Comer and Jordan are both the same. They're just sitting around and they're just writing letters and stuff. They're not doing anything to help this situation.
No.
This is what we got to do. We've got to start playing like they are, or we're not going to win.
No. And there's Republicans are starting to do that since Laura Trump and the others kind of took over the RNC. They're trying to develop plans for early voting. Now, I'm not a fan of the early voting. I'm not. I think many in the chat would agree with me on that. But
Tammy, you're right, Tammy. They're right. The Republicans do not have the cojones to do anything right now.
No. But the fact is, we have to play with the current rules that are in play. I mean, if Democrats are using a sneaky method of cheating, they're the ones that are in power right now. We got to play the game whether we like it or not until we could get back in power and change it. And, you know, I agree to a certain extent. We do have to fight kind of dirty like the Democrats do, because that's the only way we're going to win.
Yeah, we're not winning now. In 3.5 years, we thought when we controlled the House, we were going to win something. What have we won? Not a damn thing.
Nope.
And you're right, John. The pedophiles are trying to protect the horse. And this is what we get. And have you noticed since Joe Biden has stole this office, how many nutcases have come out of the woodwork? The pedophiles, these mental trans people, everyone have come out and they're like blatant about it, about the mental problems going on in this country. And you'll wonder what the hell's going on. They have brought out mental illness. And this is just unbelievable. I can't believe everything that's going on. Okay, let's see what else we got going on here. John Blackfeather. Okay, I'm going to put this out there. Democrats and liberals have been walking all over us for years. You got that right. When is enough for us to start standing up against them? I'm tired of this bullshit, and the Republicans aren't doing a damn thing. The Republicans need to stand up and start fighting against, you're so right on this one, against the Democrats. Oh, hell yeah. We've been saying this. Brendan and I both been saying this since we started these live streams and our videos. You know, I don't know what's wrong with them. They've got the power. Now do it. Now they've got a slim power right now. I think they're only up by three people now.
Yeah, something like that.
So they got to watch what they're doing. And Marjorie Taylor Greene's got to chill out on taking out Mike. What the hell's his name?
Mike Johnson.
Yeah, Mike Johnson.
Yeah,
because we can't afford this. Because if Johnson leaves, everybody's going to roll out with him, and we're done. So
Yeah.
you are right.
I go back and forth with the whole House situation, honestly. I mean, there really is no good solution for getting out of this right now. Like I said, the only thing is holding these people accountable. We should be blowing up these people's phones and putting some serious pressure on them. But, you know, as far as everything else, I mean, we can't get anything done when our side is the controlled opposition. That's the whole issue, you know, and that every time the Republicans have power, they do nothing with it. In fact, when they do something, it really seems to benefit the Democrats. I mean, really, you look at what the House has done so far.
Nothing.
I mean, we might as well have Nancy Pelosi as speaker again.
That's why somebody just said that. Sean said that if Mike Johnson doesn't start blocking these Democrats slush funds, America is going to be a Venezuela 2.0.
Exactly.
Exactly right.
Yeah, that's
my
point. It really, and this is why, and I understood the argument you were making, Charlie. I see both sides of the argument. That's why I didn't completely hate trying to oust Mike Johnson, because I really don't think much would go different, honestly, if Hakeem Jeffries was speaker. I mean, he basically already is. He just doesn't have the title, but I understand the argument that you were making. But it's just there really is no good solution when it comes to the House. I mean, this is just the swamp. This is the uniparty summed up.
Exactly. Welcome, Jackie from Virginia. And Dennis made a good point here. Trump was ahead in PA by 80,000 votes, with less than 2% of the votes counted. 1 second later, he was behind by nearly 10,000 votes. You're exactly right, because I shut it off with they said all this and woke up the next morning and shit, he lost. And I said, what the hell? How the hell can he lose when he was up by that much in that short of time? And it was gone.
Yeah, I actually stayed up and watched it. I watched how numbers changed, how Trump's numbers actually decreased.
After they started shutting down votes, I just said to hell with it, and I went to bed.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. They said they quit counting in many of these states. Pennsylvania was one of them. But Biden's numbers continue to go up. It's like, well, what the hell? Didn't they say they were done counting? How is his vote total going up if they're not counting anymore?
Yeah, no kidding.
That didn't make any sense. Then you find out, you know, the pipe burst in Georgia was a bunch of bullshit and all this stuff. And it's amazing how all these states, they decided they were going to quit counting. They all decided at the same time. Like, how the hell does that work? That had to have been coordinated.
No kidding. I mean, how do they all just say, well, it's too late now, we're going to just shut down for tonight?
Every one of them did it at the same time, and they just all happen to be swing states.
Oh yeah. All right, John brought up a good point. You want the Epstein Island list just to look at who doesn't like Trump, like De Niro? And didn't you put that list up there, Brendan, on Twitter or something? The Epstein list.
I believe I did. Hold on.
And you marked out where Robert De Niro was on that island.
Yes.
You're right. But you guess what? With the Biden administration in right now, they're turning the United States into one big Epstein Island. With the pedophiles, the drag queens doing nasty shit in front of little kids, the books that are in the libraries that these people want to keep in there. They want these pedophiles. We put pedophiles in prison over showing kids pictures. I know a neighbor of mine, a couple houses down, not anymore, but he's dead. He was put in prison, put on the Megan's Law list, had to register for showing little kids pornographic pictures. Just pictures. But we're going to let all these pedophiles read these nasty ass books. And what was that? A couple episodes ago, I let Kennedy read those books that were in there.
Yeah.
And they're talking about penetration and dildos and strap-ons and all this bullshit to little kids. That disgusts me to every end. And every single one of these people that back this shit, tie their nuts with a rope and hang them from the nearest tree. Period. Pedophiles have no place on this earth. Period.
No, not at all. And speaking of pedophiles, we're approaching approaching a groomer awareness month.
Oh my God, I saw that. When is that? June.
Yep.
Oh my God. Did you see where a guy tore up the LGBTQD, ABCD, whatever it is, flag on the street of New York,
Yeah,
and he got arrested for it?
on it.
Yeah, he got arrested.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, there was like a manhunt for him. I mean, you would have swore this guy killed 20 people the way they were looking for him. All he
No
did
kidding.
was donuts on the freaking. They had the pride flag painted on the street. He was doing donuts on it. It's like really, but we could have the Sharia supremacists
There it is.
spray painting our statues and all this shit.
Yep, there's Brendan's Epstein Island list. You guys want to look at that list? There's a lot of people that you know definitely on there. And
little Bobby De Niro.
Oh yeah, look at that finger right there, Bobby De Niro. And let's go with John Blackwater. Blackfeather? What's he saying? I'm damn tired of some Republicans voting with Democrats. Yeah, no shit there. Like this bullshit bills passed to help Ukraine. Yeah, no money of ours should be going to Ukraine. Yeah, and also $60 to $100 billion for Ukraine, which is bullshit. You know how much? Yeah, you know how much our homeless people. What we could have done with that, with the money that they're spending on these idiot illegal criminals, sending that money over to Ukraine. You know how we could have helped our veterans and the homeless that are living on the streets here with all this money that they're spending.
Yeah, we probably could have wiped out world hunger in this country 3 times over and put every homeless veteran, every homeless person, really.
They could have built houses for all of them.
Yeah. We could have put them in a nice house with all this money.
Why didn't they open these hotels that they opened for these illegal criminals for our homeless people?
Exactly.
Gave them cards, gave them cell phones, gave them food. They don't do that stuff. And how can people not see this? Because we've got a mental illness problem and it's coming out and the Democrats are showing it. And how much more do everybody need to understand that this Democrat Party is a communist party, period. They're going to turn us into a China and we can't not let that happen. Why hasn't Biden been impeached yet? At the click of a finger, the commies impeached President Trump. I don't get it. I've been asking that for 3.5 years, Mark.
Yep.
And the Republicans keep saying they have all this proof. They have all this evidence. And they do. I mean, I've seen the check. I downloaded the first set of papers, the bank statements and all that stuff that showed the checks written out to Biden. And it doesn't matter if it came from his brother or if it came from the crackhead or who it came from. The money that they got was from China and all these other countries. So it matters where the money came from. Remember how they say follow the money? That's where it matters. If it came from China to Jim Biden and Jim Biden wrote a check out to Joe Biden, that means Joe Biden took the money from a foreign country. Every damn one of them. And they could have. Don't get me wrong. If they would have registered under the Foreign Agent Registration Act, if they do that and they claim the money, it's not illegal. But they tried to hide the money so they didn't have to pay the IRS and pay the taxes on this money, on top of taking it for quid pro quo and, the influence peddling shit. So that's illegal. But this is the thing that I've get. They've got all this information and all this evidence, but they don't impeach him. At least they would impeach him in the House, just like they did Trump. We know it's going to fail in the Senate because of the asshole Democrats.
I would
do
it.
But they don't do it.
Yeah, I would do
exactly.
it. Point. I mean, Trump got impeached over a phone call. It's like, are you kidding me? But Republicans, I'm serious. If I was running everything in the House, if I was Speaker of the House, I'd be getting my people together. I would impeach Joe Biden every week if possible. I'd be impeaching him every week. I would impeach him for leaving the toilet seat up in the White House. I would just go after him for whatever I could.
Oh, yeah. Was Joe Biden on that list?
I believe he was, yes.
Okay, because somebody just said that on there. Mark just said that on there. It said Biden's on that list. I don't have a copy of the list, so.
There are a lot of names on that list. Let me see.
Yeah, I seen that.
But yes, I do believe that he was. Shit, I
Well,
just lost.
another thing is, where are these 86? Was it yeah, 86,000 unaccompanied children that has come across the border? Where did Joe Biden fly them to?
Joe Biden is on the list.
Oh, is he?
He is on the list.
Okay, there you go.
So is Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, and
Well, no surprise there.
God, I hope Taylor Swift was on here.
They were making fun of her the other day because of her outfit. They can say that she might be pregnant. Which I feel.
God, I hope not. We don't need any more friggin' Travis Kelce's.
Yeah, I feel bad for the kid.
With her track record, it's probably not even his. Did I say that? I'm sorry.
But let's get back to the chats here. Everybody's got stuff going on here. Well, I was talking about the kids. He trafficked those kids all over the United States, but nobody can find them. I have never got an answer. I've looked and looked and looked and never found an answer of where these kids are at. Anybody can find it out. I would love to know if you guys could do it. Let me know if you guys find out. But they torture and scare children almost to death and then extract their blood for these people to infuse in their bloodstream for the hormones the children secrete just before they're murdered. It's real. What the hell is that? That is endochrome. I've never heard of that. We're definitely going to have to. Did you see Dennis's remarks down there?
Yeah, I was just reading it now. I've never heard that myself either. I don't know.
John Arter. I'm guessing because I'm not truly Republican. What the hell are you talking about, John? The demons in Congress won't vote to impeach. And yeah, no kidding. I don't know why they won't vote for that, Tammy. It doesn't make any sense. They've got all this on him. And like Brendan said, they impeached Trump on a phone call. And then they did it on a false narrative with the Russian collusion hoax, which they knew was fake to begin with. And they still went ahead and did it. And it happened. So who was more united when it came to impeachment? The Democrats.
Yeah.
We can't get the Republicans to unite to get out a piece of shit criminal like Joe Biden.
Believe me, I wish the Republicans fought just a fraction as hard as the Democrats do. I mean, that is one thing I say about Democrats. If Democrats want to get shit done, man, they get it done. I mean, it's everything bad trying to destroy our country, but man, they get shit done.
Big
That's
Mike
for sure.
Kid. Billy Bob said Swift's pregnant with Big Mike's kid. Oh my God.
That might be worse.
Yeah, no kidding. I realized today that Trump being falsely convicted today set a huge precedent for other past presidents who committed crime. They're supposed to have immunity, so this should be interesting. You're right, Steve. It is definitely going to get interesting. And Steve said this, and I'll let you guys, Wimpkin can't see this. I realized today that Trump being falsely convicted today set a huge precedent for other past presidents who committed crime. They supposedly have the immunities, so should get interesting coming forward. You're right. If anybody pushes the issue, they could go back on any. Well, I don't think there's too many living presidents except racist Obama, Clinton. We know what happens with the Clintons. Not a damn thing.
Yeah,
what's that?
Yeah, Bush and Carter. Those are the only other two.
Carter, he's on his deathbed anyway.
Oh,
so
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
he's
Bush,
he's 98 years old or something.
Yeah, they were already calling family back. What families left on him? I'm surprised he hasn't passed away.
He's been on hospice for a little over a year, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think right after right before his wife died.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, he's up there in age now. John says, I said it's because the Republicans aren't truly Republicans, but Google sucks.
Yeah, he had to clarify what I was reading. So it's like, okay.
Hey, like I said before, if I'm being honest, I'm a Republican by default. So both parties suck. Just tired of the corrupt bullshit. And unfortunately, the Republican Party is the only way we could get out of it at the moment. I
Oh,
hate
most
them.
definitely.
I hate them both. They're both terrible.
Most definitely. But oh my God, there is so much going to be going on here just within the next few weeks, within a month, until we get to that point where this bullshit conviction and his sentencing comes down on the 11th. And Brendan said this before, that it happens to be 4 days before the Republicans'
Yeah,
primary or their national convention goes off.
coincidence,
So
I'm sure. And that's where Trump's supposed to announce his running mate.
yeah, and of course it's going to happen that way. But hopefully they can do something about getting appeal in place that will take care of this sentencing deal until then. But who knows? It's New York. Who knows what's going to happen within the next few weeks? But it's going to be a lot.
John says, I think we should start a new party. How about the Constitutional Patriot Party? There actually is a Constitutional Party. It's called the
Really?
Constitution Party. Yeah, there is. The only problem is
Did not know that, Dennis.
third party candidates. I mean, I know a lot of people don't want to hear this, but third party candidates are a long shot. They are almost impossible. I can't say I'm a fan of the way things are right now, but unfortunately, to get anything done, you have to be either Democrat or Republican. Third parties are just it's a long shot. The only reason myself why I'm still registered Republican is so I can vote in the primaries. As that is the only reason. But
But you would need a whole party to change. You would have to outnumber the Democrats and the Republicans to actually get anything done, because they kind of blackball. Look, what's RFK is suing because of the debates, because there's so many low numbers on, what's he, liberal or libertarian, right?
Yeah.
Robert Kennedy.
Yeah,
So,
Kennedy's independent.
Independent. Yeah, he's running independent.
Yeah, the libertarians picked that.
Yeah, he's suing because they left him out of the debate that Trump and Biden's going to have here. When's the first debate? June something, right? June 7th.
I believe so. Is it June?
I guess it's coming up anyways, but he's suing because by the law that they have in place that Kennedy should be allowed in this. So I don't know what's happening with that. So we're going to have to see what goes on with that. Oh, John Order, you were at January 6th? Oh, my. The FBI was at your house days later. No kidding. Boy, that would make for a great story. We need to get you on the show and tell your story on that. That would be awesome.
Yeah, for sure. We're putting in some overtime today, Charlie. I wasn't paying attention to the clock.
No, time flies when you're having fun.
I'm having a blast.
I'm telling you, this is great. We get a lot of involvement in chat, which is what I wanted to see today, because you guys took up everything. It was awesome, because your show, I can use this stuff for tomorrow. But this was a big topic, and we needed to get this out, and we needed to vent, because this is some bullshit. And I did make some comments to Don Jr. and told him hope his dad is staying strong. And because I know this has got to be frustrating, it's got to take a toll on somebody. And I'm hoping that, he's going to stay strong and everything's going to work out, because Joe Biden's got to go through this. He would never make it.
No.
He would not handle the pressure.
This is only going to make Trump stronger. It's only going to make him stronger.
Yeah. There's something like this for Biden would blow his brain again. Yeah. He would have another aneurysm.
Yeah, he would be finished. If all this other shit hasn't taken Trump down, this sure shit ain't going to. He's only going to get stronger. And
you could tell he was pissed off when he made his statement right after the court, when the verdict was let out, when he came out. He was pissed, and he really wanted to fire in. But I don't know if that gag order is still in place or not now.
I would think not, because the case is technically over. I mean,
Because
so
he told the jury that they can do what they
maybe
want. They can talk to anybody about the case.
I don't see why it would still be in place. I mean, even though sentencing hasn't happened yet, I mean the case is over, so it shouldn't still be. But he's probably going to appeal, so he's probably just keeping his mouth shut still. You know, he's still acting as if he has a gag order because he probably plans on appealing. That would be my guess anyway.
But you could just tell he wanted to fire it up. He
I'm
wanted
sure
to.
I would
He
too.
wanted to light into everybody, and I wish he would have, because that is Donald Trump. He doesn't hold back, and this piece of shit corrupt judge is holding him back from his First Amendment rights, the freedom of speech. You're allowed to do it. You're not allowed to threaten somebody. That's the only thing that you're not allowed to do. You can call him a dickhead if you want to, and you can't do anything about it. But you can't threaten somebody's life. That is not covered by the First Amendment.
Nope.
And they should release him of that, because he said they told the jury that they could talk to anybody about the case now. So I agree. He should be free to do what he wants.
Should be. Yeah, the case is over. It should be. He should be able to say what he wants now about it.
Gregory Allen. There's a purpose why it's an impossibly to have a third party within the constitutional republic. The framers intended our political system to be a debate between two oppositional parties. Additional political parties will only create more division. I don't know if we can get more division than what we are right now.
No.
This country has been more divided than what I've ever seen in the 56 years that I've been alive.
Yep.
I've never seen it this bad. And the Democrats are behind all of it. And it started with Obama.
Yeah, absolutely.
He started the division to make it worse. I'm telling you. I mean, there's always been a division in this country, but it started to slowly get better until that piece of shit got into office. And I voted for him the first time. Believe it or not. Yes, I voted for that son of a bitch. Didn't know his husband was going to be there and have a bigger crank than him and have to show it on TV and stuff. But it's just like, it dumbfounds me. But like New York folks. Yeah. Oh my.
I'm gonna have to jump off, Charlie. 3:00 comes early.
Oh so, yeah.
I'll see you.
All right, guys. Yeah, we're gonna sign off. We've had a great time tonight.
We did.
Join us tomorrow night for this. We might get back into this tomorrow night too. But join us for another riveting episode of the Conservative Viewpoint, guys. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. Come back tomorrow. If you guys still want to talk about this, I'm game. I'm all good for it. Same time, same place. Are you going to be here tomorrow or no?
No, I'm not going to. I have previous plans that were made. So,
okay.
Yeah. So,
all right. Well, join me, guys. Join me tomorrow night.
I'll be back Monday, though. So,
all right. Hard and heavy. So,
absolutely.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Again, check out our Rumble channels. Mine is the Country Conservative. Brendan's is the Brendan Sattler Show. Follow us. Like, share, subscribe, everything. Give us a thumbs up. It'll help our channel grow.
Absolutely.
And we can continue to do this. And we're going to continue to do this all the way up to general election and after, depending on, we're going to continue to do this as long as you guys will join us.
Absolutely. For sure.
So again, one more time, please join me tomorrow night, 9:00 Eastern Standard Time, and we'll get back into this, and maybe we'll get into some of the stuff I had planned for tonight. So until tomorrow night, guys, have a good night.
Good night, everyone.